Welcome back to CIA Declassified, the broadcast dedicated to dissecting the classified documents that reveal how intelligence agencies seek to exploit the most abstract and powerful systems known, the very fabric of space-time. Today we move beyond light, electromagnetism, and genetics and into the realm of dimensionality engineering. We address the chilling fact that U.S. intelligence explored the possibility of using contained massive energy systems to locally warp gravity in time, creating instantaneous tactical zones of paralysis. We are analyzing the CIA's involvement in controlled chronometric fields, treating the universe's speed limits and physical laws as programmable variables. Our primary evidence is the declassified file CIA-RDP74-00101R000100020009-1. This report is titled, quote, Applied Gravimetric and Chronometric Manipulation, end quote. It confirms that specialized astrophysics, general relativity, and extreme energy confinement resources were tasked with evaluating the possibility of creating a localized field of immense density, an engineered microsingularity, or a highly energetic torus to induce two primary strategic effects: localized gravity increase and time dilation. The context here is instantaneous, high-fidelity strategic paralysis. If a target command post can be made functionally impenetrable by instantly increasing its local gravitational field, or if its response time can be delayed by slowing down local time, the strategic objective is achieved with absolute physical certainty. The file's existence confirms that manipulating the gravitational constant was viewed as the ultimate strategic vulnerability ripe for exploitation. The analysis focuses on two primary areas: microsingularity generation for gravitational effects and torus field stabilization for controlled time dilation. Let's drill down into the rigorous and mind-bending theoretical methodology of this file. The analysts demanded a path to weaponize Einstein's field equations. The file required an intense focus on energy confinement and mass equivalence. The research centered on creating an artificially massive energy field. According to general relativity, gravity is the curvature of space-time caused by mass and energy. The idea was to generate and contain an extreme amount of energy, likely from a pulsed nuclear fusion device or a high-powered particle accelerator, and use that contained energy equivalent to instantly warp the local space-time around the target. The theory proposed two primary applications of this field. One, gravimetric impregnability, instantly increasing the local gravitational pull on a fortified facility, making it literally too heavy to move, too difficult to open doors, and physically paralyzing personnel inside. The intense G-force would be debilitating without necessarily being lethal, thus classifying it as a non-kinetic weapon. And two, chronometric delay, by generating a specific contained field, often conceptualized as a rotating energy torus. The research suggested a way to warp time itself, inducing localized time dilation. This would slow down everything within the affected area relative to the outside world, creating a critical lag in military response time. The key challenge was field stability and localization. The document outlines methods for ensuring the gravimetric or chronometric field is narrow enough to affect a single target area without causing widespread catastrophic space-time distortions. This required advanced algorithms for instantaneous field calculation and containment. The document includes numerous pieces of conceptual specifications for establishing paralysis onset benchmarks, the measurable success rate for rendering a subject or facility non-functional within a specific time frame, e.g. achieving a 50% localized time dilation effect within 1 second of field initiation. Crucially, the file dedicated an entire section to unforeseen universal feedback loops. This section acknowledges the massive risk of initiating chain reactions or irreversible distortions in the local universe due to the magnitude of energy required for this operation. We must now examine the primary finding, the agency's assessment of the concept's potential for strategic control. This is a critical excerpt regarding the confirmation of viability. Calculations demonstrate that a contained energy field equivalent to redacted megatons can, in theory, generate a controllable localized metric area sufficient to induce a 1 to 2 time dilation ratio across a 500-meter tactical perimeter, end quote. And then a second quote from a section discussing operational advantage, quote, a state possessing chronometric field technology can achieve absolute decisive strategic superiority by nullifying the adversary's ability to react to any event in real time, end quote. This is the true meaning of the file. It states that the laws of physics are not immutable constraints, but merely engineering challenges to be overcome. The focus shifted from how do we move faster than the enemy to how do we make the enemy move slower than time itself. We now address the chilling operational implications of this file, the deployment of dimensionality, engineering, and strategic maneuvering. The most extensive redactions occur in the section titled Long-Term Temporal Distortion Effects and Massive Energy Source Requirements. This suggests detailed discussions around the long-term, potentially permanent warping of the area's physical constants and the extreme difficulty and scale of the hardware needed to produce the required energy, e.g. mobile fusion reactors. Why redact long-term temporal distortion effects? Because this section documents the internal acknowledgement that the weapon's use could fundamentally violate the integrity of space-time, a violation that could not be reversed. The concept discussed is the creation of the space-time denial field. The system allows a nation to neutralize a critical area simply by imposing a crushing gravity well or slowing down the flow of time around it. The file details the requirement for complex, mobile, high-energy particle containment hardware, which would likely be concealed in massive, heavily shielded vehicles or deep underground facilities. The strategic weaponization of this research is clear. It is a universal dominance weapon that fundamentally changes the nature of conflict by controlling the rules of physical existence. A state possessing this capability gains the ability to field a weapon that turns the forces of gravity and time against their adversary. We conclude our analysis of this document. The existence and scope of the research confirm that U.S. intelligence treated the direct localized manipulation of space-time and gravity as an actionable, high-priority strategic objective. The implication is that analysis moved into the sphere of applied astrophysics, seeking to exploit the mechanisms that govern reality for the sake of perpetual intelligence advantage. This research represents the ultimate weaponization of existence. If this documented truth has opened your mind to the technological boundaries explored by those in power, we require your continued support. First, like this episode and leave us a detailed 5-star review wherever you listen. This is how the analysis exposes the deeper scientific agendas. Second, share this episode with someone obsessed with relativity, theoretical physics, or the ethical implications of controlling time. We need more sharp minds analyzing these documented facts. Next, we turn our attention from controlling the fundamental forces of the universe to the ultimate control over human will and experience. We will analyze the CIA's classified research into direct neural uplink and remote sensory input, the agency's attempt to investigate the theoretical and engineering feasibility of creating completely synthetic sensory experiences, visual, auditory, tactile, delivered directly to a subject's brain via non-invasive electromagnetic frequency modulation. For our next episode, we're going to be analyzing CIA document RDP70-001-0002-0011-3. Tune in for our next episode, direct neural uplink and remote sensory input. Until then, remember, maintain your vigilance, question the flow of time, and keep your critical thinking sharp. I'll see you in the archives.